Do you want to see what it looks like when you don't have a dryer here in Guanajuato? This is how you dry your clothes. Right down there, we hang dry our clothes, and it can get really annoying really fast when you need clothes quickly, when you've got dogs in the house, meaning you want to get their hair out of your clothes and all the blankets. So, something to keep note of. Thankfully, the dryer that we ordered is coming soon. Hopefully, before the holidays are over, because we're gonna need them. We've got friends coming over and using up our spare rooms, and we're having an amazing holiday season. Christmas Day, and New Year's. Friends all coming, and we need to wash sheets. We need to wash blankets, especially after they've left. So, a lot of hanging to do. Hopefully, we get that dryer. But anyway, that's the morning here in Guanajuato, and I wanted to do a kind of a different video today, and I really hope that you don't take this as something negative. Okay? What I'm about to talk about, I hope that you don't see it as or hear it as something negative. I feel like either way, if you're this type of person or not, I'm helping you, and you're gonna get something out of it, because either it helps you make a decision to come here or not and save your money, save all the effort of relocating and just moving your life to a place like this, and you can make that decision much faster. Before I get into that, see that heater in the back? That's also how we heat this house. And I told you in another video about the things people don't really tell you about Guanajuato is in the winter, and it hasn't even really started, it gets cold, especially in a house like this where the walls are thick and cement, and it just holds the cold in. And of course, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the ceilings, but our ceilings are pretty tall. So yeah, something to keep in mind when, and that's pretty normal. That's, a lot of places that you can get for rent are, they have dome ceilings like this, like it's called a boveda. But anyway, let's get to the topic. The title of this video is Do Not Come to Guanajuato If. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to make the distinction and also help people with their expectations of Guanajuato. Because I feel like some people who think about coming to a place like Guanajuato, or even Mexico in general, have this idea about what it's actually like. And there are parts of living in Mexico and Guanajuato in general that I think are important to know. And it takes a specific type of person to live in Guanajuato in general. I don't have any notes, by the way, and these are just what I'm telling you is what I've learned through conversation with locals, with other expats who have relocated here, and what I've seen through the years of successful relocations and unsuccessful relocations. And it's because it's a specific type of person or people who come here thinking it's going to be one way, and it's not. So that's what I'm hoping to talk about in this video is do not come to Guanajuato if. One of those ifs is if you don't plan to integrate into the community. If you're just trying to escape a life wherever you are right now, and you're trying to escape that life, and you think, oh, I can go live in Mexico because it's cheaper, I can save my money, and I get to live like a king or queen. and you have no intention to mingle and collaborate and immerse yourself in the locals and their culture and in the traditions of Mexico, even in the traditions of the various zones that you live in the little magic towns like Guanajuato. If you don't plan to integrate, this is not the place for you, because there are places in Mexico that have very large expat communities and they do well, but Guanajuato is not one of those expat communities where people who don't plan on, integrating with the locals, and there's even some people who come here and don't even respect the locals or the culture, and they seem to find their way out. When those types of people come here, they don't last very long, and if they do, they're not the happiest. I've seen it, and that's what the locals talk about as well. If you don't like, see, some people call it noise. I call it life. I call it a reminder that I'm still alive and a reminder that I am experiencing a whole different culture here. If you don't like sounds like dogs barking from time to time, especially if you live in the center of town, in Centro, chances are you're going to have a neighbor with a dog who barks outside. Some of them are on the roofs, some of them are in their backyards, some of them are in their homes, and they just allow their dogs to bark. There's a lot of dogs here. And if you don't like animals, if you don't like dogs, you probably wouldn't like being in Guanajuato. So I can tell you though, as someone who it used to affect me, it doesn't anymore. I don't even hear it anymore. It's just part of the ambient sounds. There are fireworks that constantly explode depending on your zone, especially, and depending on the seasons. It seems like every weekend there's some kind of a fiesta, there's some kind of a celebration. They're celebrating a saint. By the way, the fireworks, when they light them and they blow them up, it's symbolizes either a celebration or a mourning. Someone died, or they're celebrating a birthday. They're celebrating something. They're celebrating a tradition. So you can imagine, with the endless celebrations or ways to celebrate, how much firework action goes on. It's actually, in this video right now, you haven't heard a single firework. It's not all the time. There are seasons and there are phases where these things happen. When you go into downtown, if you don't like crowds of people, this city probably isn't for you, because Centro in downtown is very lively all hours of the day. Not early morning, which is when I usually like to walk around, but by lunchtime, all the way into the evening, the center of town in front of Teatro Juarez, the Jardín, Plaza La Paz, it's pretty not full of people. It's just a sizable crowd for anyone to notice. So if you don't like feeling like you're in a crowd, it's nowhere near Union Square in New York City. It's nowhere near Hollywood Boulevard in LA. Not like that. I'm just saying, for a small town, for a magic town like Guanajuato, it's crowded. So, and that's not even on a festival day. On a festival day, or like Cervantino or Dia de Muertos, it's shoulder to shoulder. So if you don't like crowds, you probably won't like Guanajuato. Again, it's not all the time. It's just often. What else? Water deliveries, for example. Drinking water doesn't come out of the tap. You don't drink the drinking water out of the tap. Is it safe to use for brushing your teeth? Yes. Is it safe to use for, boiling water? Some people do boil water and make coffee with it and stuff. But usually you get water delivered in bottles, or you can go out and refill it yourself. It's no problem. There's water delivery trucks all over town. All of that stuff. If you don't like having to get your own water, if you don't like having to refill the gas, calling the gas company, if you don't plan to speak the language or even try to speak the language, you don't want to be in Guanajuato. You won't last long. I've lasted 8 years. I'm very good with Google Translate, and I've actually picked up some phrases, and I've picked up how to do the regular tasks when I'm conducting my life and business in town. So, and I feel like it's all about the confidence too, and trying. If you don't plan to try and give it a little effort, you don't you don't want to be in Guanajuato, because the locals here are looking for effort. They want to know that you respect the culture enough that you're willing to try, and not just, you know, expect people to speak English or whatever other language you speak. What else? What else? That I feel like people, what their expectations, right? Rental prices. Since I did a rental video yesterday, which by the way is doing amazing, and people are already not signing up, but inquiring. So, which is cool. That lets me know that you guys are on your way, and can't wait to meet you walking down the street and seeing you and telling me your story. I love it. And I was having this conversation with some local friends of ours that we had dinner with last night, and I was telling them, you know what? I want people are coming to Guanajuato with or without me or my videos. They're coming. But you know what I can do? I can make sure that the people coming are the people I want to hang out with, the people that all of us want here in Guanajuato. People who are connected spiritually, people who are aware, people who love other cultures, people who are just chill and they love the Mexican culture and they want to learn more about the Mexican culture and they're curious about it. More than the standard sepia tone movies that Mexico's always for some reason represented. It's so dumb. I can't even stand it. And how Mexico is represented outside of Mexico. It's so different. So different. And I can't wait. If you've never been to Mexico, if you've never been to Guanajuato, I cannot wait to see your reaction. This place is magic. Magic. And I've been to many places around the world. I've lived in other places around the world. I've lived in other cities here in Mexico. And Guanajuato is magic. So of course it's only natural that I want magical people coming here to this city. And so if you don't like the things that I've mentioned so far, like the quote noise, the extra effort it takes to get your water, and yes, groceries can be delivered here. If you don't like walking, do not come to Guanajuato. If you don't like walking uphill, especially if you are planning to live in the alleys and slightly uphill where there's no street access, meaning your cab, your Ubers won't go directly to your doorstep and you're going to have to walk up to get there. Imagine carrying groceries. Imagine carrying anything that you need to get. Imagine carrying your suitcase for the first time. If you don't plan on improving your health and exercising and getting some of those glutes back, those butt muscles, working them out, if you don't plan on having a hard butt, listen, when you're my age, and I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this are older than me, having a hard butt goes a long way here in Guanajuato, because that means you can walk uphill, your lungs are expanded, you are, your blood is moving. If you plan to be sedentary, Guanajuato is definitely not for you because this is an active city. This is a city that requires you to walk anywhere you need to go, everywhere you need to go, because why not? It's beautiful. There's so much to see here. Every single time I walk into town, I live uphill. And please, I'm just kidding now. I've lived all over Guanajuato. That's why I feel really qualified to do these videos, is because name a neighborhood, I probably lived in it. I probably haven't lived in every neighborhood, but at least 7 neighborhoods, large neighborhoods, very amazing neighborhoods, from in the wilderness pretty much to the smack dab center of town. I have lived in it. And I'll show you those neighborhoods. But back to this video is, yeah, if you don't plan to walk, if you don't plan to exercise, if you don't plan to make an effort, Guanajuato is not for you. But if you are open, if you are excited and curious about other communities and other cultures, and really having good eye-to-eye conversations where people are looking you in the eye as you're talking and not scrolling on their phone and looking everywhere else except for you. If you're ready for real conversations and real connections with people and learning about a culture and all of its traditions and festivals and celebrations, this place is absolutely for you. If you like art, if you like inclusivity, I know a lot of my viewers are LGBT. I'm right here. Just kidding. No, I mean, it's not even a thing here. There's so many LGBT couples holding hands in Centro. Not even a thing. If you love food, all kinds of food, most especially Mexican food, like not Americanized Mexican food. You won't even find burritos here. Did you know burritos aren't a thing in like deep Mexico? They don't do burritos, but they have a lot of real authentic sauces, and just the spices and the flavors are rich and deep, and just when you eat it, it not just satiates your cravings, it satiates a part of your spirit, your soul, that feels like, oh, like when I eat something good, my body dances. And that happens a lot when I eat in, places in Guanajuato and a lot of places in Mexico. So if you like good food, if you like communities of other cool expats as well as locals, and everyone hangs together and not separates. We don't like being separated. We love meeting new people and locals and saying hi when you visit their stores. It's like a small town feel. I talk about this a lot in my other videos. This is a small town feel, and we want to keep it that way. We want to keep it small. And the way to keep it small town is to integrate and to immerse yourself in culture and get to know everybody. The more people you know here, the better off you are. And the more you learn about yourself. What I've learned about myself through my time here, incredible. Incredible. I've learned to love myself all over again here in Guanajuato. And that's why this house that we live in is called El Corazón de Guanajuato, the heart of Guanajuato. Guanajuato city itself is considered the heart of Mexico, the country. So we named our house El Corazón de Guanajuato because this is a kind of city that opens your heart. This is a kind of city that lets you fall in love with yourself all over again, if not for the first time. And it's one of those cities that opens, that rips you open and allows your creativity to shine. It allows you to explore, no matter what age you are, who you really are. And yeah, I'm proud to call our home El Corazon de Guanajuato. And by the way, here's my plug. You know, we do retreats here, but the information is in the description of this video. That's not what this particular video is about. But if you're interested in a retreat, it's in the description. So this video is long enough, and I think I was pretty clear in like your expectations and knowing what to expect here. There are other cities for you. If you're you know, the type of person that I described that who would not fit into Guanajuato, you might want to check out San Miguel de Allende. It's only 45 minutes away, 50, maybe an hour and 20 minutes tops. That's a pretty great city as well. Very beautiful, everything that you need, access, all of it. Expats, hanging out with other expats, like, you know, Lake Chapala, Ajijic, other great places to call home. It's just that Guanajuato it requires a specific type of person and people. And I'm not just saying this because that's just it's just what I've seen. And what I have heard from locals. Yeah, I want you to be successful wherever it is that you go. I want you to have success in finding that place to call home and be happy, internally really, really happy, and not have any regrets when you choose that place. So I'm doing my best to paint the clearest picture that I can of this city so that when you arrive here, you know exactly why things are happening, where things are, and like how you want to integrate the fastest way possible. Because the faster you integrate and get into the culture and the local society, the more success you'll have. Anyway, that's long enough. I hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.